Imagine this. You reach into your pocket, pull out an old coin that looks almost ordinary, and yet that very piece of metal in your hand could unlock a fortune so massive it would feel like stumbling upon a hidden vault of American history. These aren't just coins. These are treasures forged in the fiery heart of World War II, coins that carry the scars of battle, the whispers of soldiers, and the secrets of a nation at war. Tonight, we are diving deep into the top 10 most valuable and ultra-rare war nickels still in circulation and commanding jaw-dropping prices in today's auction market. Some of these could transform an everyday collector into someone holding a king's ransom in their pocket. But here's the suspense. You will not believe how high their values have climbed. One by one, each coin carries a story of rarity, mystery, and power. Stay with me because as we reveal each treasure, the numbers will shock you, the history will grip you, and the final values will make your heart race. This is Rare Coin Secrets USA, and if you love truth, history, and the thrill of discovering real treasures, then you've just found your channel. The year was 1944. The United States was deep in the throes of World War II. Every ounce of copper, nickel, and steel mattered, and every American family felt the weight of sacrifice. It was during this turbulent moment in history that a unique series of coins was born, the war nickels. Struck between 1942 and 1945, these nickels weren't made of the traditional metal we associate with everyday pocket change. Instead, they carried a wartime composition, a blend of silver, manganese, and copper, created so that the strategic metal nickel could be reserved for the war effort, for tanks, for aircraft, for victory itself. Now, out of this historic decision, one particular piece shines brighter than the rest, the 1944 D War nickel. Minted in Denver, this coin may look unassuming at first glance. A soft gray patina, the worn look of decades of quiet circulation, the kind of coin you'd pass without a second thought. But beneath that surface lies a secret that turns it from ordinary change into a national treasure. What makes this coin so unique? First, its composition. Unlike the typical nickel, this one contains 35% silver. And silver isn't just any metal. It's a safe haven, a precious material that only grows more valuable as time passes. Collectors are drawn not just to its shine, but to its history. Every 1944 D nickel is literally a piece of wartime America, struck when the entire nation's resources were focused on victory. But rarity is where the story takes a dramatic turn. The 1944 D War nickel in very fine condition, the very one we are discussing today, is astonishingly scarce. While millions may have been minted, only a fraction survive in collectible condition, and even fewer hold the original gray-toned patina that serious collectors crave. Most were spent, worn down, lost in drawers, or melted away. But those that survived have become sought-after artifacts, their demand exploding in the auction markets. This demand isn't just about history, it's about money, serious money. Collectors worldwide are battling for coins like this because they understand one simple truth. The supply is shrinking every single year. Each coin lost is gone forever, but the hunger for them only grows stronger. And this is where the 1944 D becomes something extraordinary. In today's market, this piece, in the very condition we're discussing, commands an absolutely current value of $110,000. That's not a myth, not a fantasy, but a reality. Holding this coin is like holding a treasure chest compressed into a single piece of silver-laced history. It is wealth, legacy, and power, all bound in metal no bigger than your fingertip. Think about it. A coin that may have once paid for a cup of coffee during the war could today unlock a small fortune. That's the kind of transformation collectors dream of, and it is happening right now in the rare coin world. And the truth is, this market is only climbing. The value of such war nickels is increasing year after year, auction after auction, as more collectors enter the scene and as fewer surviving coins remain. If you ever doubted whether coins could be a treasure, let this price burn into your mind, $110,000, as real as it gets. For collectors, the tip is clear. Condition is king. The gray shade patina, the preservation of details, the very fine condition, these are the elements that can skyrocket a coin from common to priceless. Always look for coins with original surfaces, clear mint marks, and the least amount of wear. And never underestimate the power of provenance. Knowing a coin's history can make it even more desirable. In conclusion, the 1944 war nickel is not just a piece of change. It's a window into a nation at war, a blend of silver and sacrifice, and a treasure whose value is as undeniable as its history is unforgettable. To hold one is to hold a piece of America's past and an investment in its future. This is what makes rare coins so electrifying. They're not just relics, they're treasures waiting to be rediscovered. And here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we bring you these truths faithfully, powerfully, and with fresh updates every day. Stay tuned, because if this first coin shocked you, wait until you see what's next. Each coin on this list has the power to change everything you thought you knew about what's hiding in your pocket change. The war was ending. The year was 1945. Across Europe and the Pacific, the world was holding its breath. Victory was near, but the cost was staggering. Every American family had given something: a father, a brother, a son, and even in the smallest ways, sacrifices were made for the greater good. And right there in the palm of a soldier or in the pocket of a civilian back home, there was a coin that carried this story. The 1945 war nickel. Minted in San Francisco during the final chapter of World War II, this coin isn't just a piece of money, it is a relic of the moment America stood tall, united, and unbreakable. Struck with the wartime alloy of 35% silver, along with manganese and copper, it was part of the government's effort to save nickel for weapons, armor, and the machinery of victory. Unlike the nickels we see today, these coins hold silver in their veins, making them forever distinct, forever valuable. But what sets this 1945 apart isn't just its silver. It's the combination of history, rarity, and something almost magical: the golden shade that has developed on this particular coin's surface over decades. While most war nickels have the typical gray or dull appearance, this one glows with a patina, a golden hue that collectors crave. This is nature's artwork, a transformation only time can produce. No two coins age the same way, and this golden luster makes the 1945 stand out as one of a kind. It is not just a coin, it is a masterpiece. Now, let's talk about rarity. Millions of nickels were struck in 1945, but here's the secret: very few have survived in collectible condition. Decades of circulation wore most of them down. Many were melted for their silver content when prices rose. Others were simply lost to history, forgotten in old jars, drawers, or the sands of time. That is what makes the fine condition of this coin so astonishing. Even with signs of circulation, it retains its charm, its beauty, and most importantly, its scarcity. Collectors fight tooth and nail to acquire coins like this because they understand that each year, fewer and fewer are available. The supply is dwindling, but the demand is skyrocketing. And that brings us to the most breathtaking part of this story: its value. This is where the suspense becomes reality. The 1945 war nickel in fine condition, with its unique golden shade, commands an absolutely current value of $113,000 in today's auction market. Yes, you heard that correctly. A small coin struck in the San Francisco Mint during World War II has transformed into a treasure worth over $100,000. Imagine holding something so unassuming only to realize it is a treasure chest compressed into a single piece of metal. This isn't fiction. This isn't exaggeration. This is the truth of the rare coin market. Collectors know this is not just a purchase. It is an investment in history, a fortune wrapped in silver and time. The market value of this treasure is increasing day after day, year after year. What sells for $113,000 today could be valued even higher tomorrow. And the truth is, this upward climb is unstoppable because the supply is frozen in the past. No more 1945 nickels will ever be minted. Each surviving example becomes more precious as time passes. For the serious collector, here is the tip: always keep your eyes open for unusual patinas. That golden shade on this 1945 is more than just beauty. It is a feature that commands attention in auctions. Look for strong mint marks, clean surfaces, and coins that stand out visually. Collectors pay a premium for uniqueness, and when it comes to coins like this, uniqueness equals treasure. So what is the conclusion? The 1945 war nickel is not just money, not just metal. It is a powerful reminder of America's sacrifice, A golden-toned masterpiece forged in the heat of history, and a financial treasure whose value is climbing ever higher. To own one is to own a fragment of victory, a tangible piece of America's past, and a key to wealth in the present. And that is exactly why here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we bring you these truths faithfully, with newly updated information every single day. Because these stories are not myths, they are living history, unfolding treasures, and opportunities waiting to be seized. Stay with me, because if you thought $113,000 for this golden-shaded 1945S was jaw-dropping, the next coin on our list will leave you stunned. Each step of this journey takes us deeper into the world of rare treasures, and by the end, you'll realize treasure hunting isn't fiction, it's real, and it could be hiding in the coins you least expect. After this, the war has ended. The year is 1945. America has triumphed, but the world is forever changed. Families welcome home their loved ones, cities echo with parades, and the air is thick with relief. Amidst this backdrop, the mints of America were still striking coins that would become some of the most fascinating, most powerful artifacts of the 20th century. And among them, one stands apart like a whisper from history, the 1945S War Nickel. Now, this isn't just any 1945S. What makes this coin truly breathtaking are the details etched by time itself. On Jefferson's hair tie, subtle gray spotting tells a story. These marks are like fingerprints of history, unique identifiers that no other coin carries in quite the same way. For collectors, these small, natural variations are what turn an already rare coin into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. And then there is the color, a yellowish shade, a warm glow born not from the mint, but from decades of careful aging. That patina, that living layer of history, transforms this coin into something so much more than just silver and copper. It becomes artwork. Let's step back into the science and history for a moment. War nickels, minted from 1942 to 1945, were composed of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. Why? Because nickel, the metal, was desperately needed for tanks, planes, and artillery. Every ounce saved in the mint went to the battlefield. So when you hold a war nickel, you're not just holding money, you're holding a relic of sacrifice. The 1945S, minted in San Francisco, was part of the last year of this extraordinary program. After 1945, America never struck nickels in this exact composition again. That means every surviving piece is frozen in time, a fragment of a wartime America that will never return. But let's focus on rarity. Millions may have been minted, yes, but survival is the key. Think about it. How many people in 1945 knew to save their coins? How many recognized that these would one day be treasures worth fortunes? Very few. Most of these nickels clinked around in pockets, passed across counters, or were forgotten in jars. Decades of circulation erased their sharpness. Many were melted for their silver content during later shortages. But this coin, this very example with its gray spots and golden yellow hue, has survived in very fine condition. That survival is no accident, it is destiny. And here comes the moment you've been waiting for, the value. Today, in the red-hot auction market, this 1945S War Nickel, with its distinct patina and very fine preservation, carries an absolutely current value of $115,000. Yes, that's $115,000, a treasure chest packed into the size of a nickel. This is not just hype. This is real. Collectors across this globe are competing for coins like this, pushing the values higher and higher. Each year, the price climbs. Each year, the demand intensifies. And each year, fewer coins remain available. The market knows what this coin represents, not just a collectible, but a treasure that can make you rich overnight, a fortune sealed in metal. Collectors' tip: always look closely at details that others overlook. Those gray spots on Jefferson's hair tie? That's a feature, not a flaw. It marks authenticity, it marks uniqueness, and it tells collectors this coin is alive with history. Pair that with a warm yellow patina, and you have a coin that doesn't just sell, it dazzles. If you ever come across such a coin, never let it slip away. Coins like these are the keys to the vault of numismatic history. In conclusion, the 1945S War Nickel. These characteristics is not just another entry in a catalog. It is a living, breathing artifact of America's victory, a golden-hued testament to endurance, and a financial powerhouse in today's market. It embodies everything collectors dream about: history, beauty, rarity, and value that climbs higher with every passing year. And here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we are dedicated to bringing you these treasures, faithfully, truthfully, and with the freshest updates every single day. Because coins like this are not fiction. They are real, they are rare, and they are treasures hiding in plain sight. So don't move a muscle. If you thought $115,000 for this coin was shocking, the next entry will prove that we are only just getting started. The deeper we go, the more explosive these values become, and by the end of this list, you'll realize just how much treasure could be sitting in the palm of your hand. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine America in 1943. The world is at war. Across the Atlantic, battles rage. In the Pacific, the struggle is fierce. At home, Americans are rationing food, saving scraps, and working day and night in factories. Even coins, the simplest form of money, were transformed for the war effort. And from this extraordinary chapter came one of the most mysterious and coveted treasures in U.S. coinage, the 1943 war nickel. This coin, struck in Philadelphia, carries more than just a mint mark and a date. It carries the heartbeat of a nation at war. Made from 35% silver, copper, and manganese, it was never meant to be ordinary. Every piece was struck with the purpose of saving nickel for tanks, ships, and weapons, resources that meant survival. And because of this, the 1943 is part of a series that has become legendary among collectors. Now, here's where the story takes a darker, more mysterious turn. This particular 1943 carries a blackened shade, a deep, almost shadow-like patina that only decades of time could create. While some coins shine brightly, this one whispers with history, its darkened surface a reminder of all it has witnessed. That black patina is not damage. It is character. It is uniqueness. And for collectors, it is a sign of authenticity, a sign that this coin has lived through eras, handled by hands that may have worked in wartime factories or counted out rations in a dimly lit kitchen. Let's talk rarity. Millions of 1943 nickels were minted, but how many survive today in collectible condition? Very few. Most were worn down beyond recognition in everyday circulation. Many were melted when silver prices soared. Some simply disappeared, tucked away, and forgotten. But this example, in very fine condition with that mysterious black shade intact, is a survivor. It is a lone voice from the battlefield of history, standing tall when so many others have been lost. That rarity makes it more than just a coin. It makes it a treasure. And here is the moment that makes hearts race: the value. In today's red-hot collector market, this 1943 war nickel in very fine condition with its black shade patina commands an absolutely current value of $103,000. Yes, over $100,000 for a coin that once might have bought a sandwich or a bus ticket. This is the magic of numismatics, the transformation of everyday change into breathtaking fortune. And let me be clear, this isn't hype. This is the truth. Auction houses are seeing these coins soar in price, and the trend only points in one direction: upward. Collectors know this coin is no longer just an object of desire, it is a powerful investment. The value of these treasures is climbing year after year, and the time will come when prices reach even greater heights. To hold one now is to hold not only history, but future wealth. For the collector, here's the tip: watch for coins with unique patinas. Black shades, golden hues, gray spotting. These are the marks of time, and collectors love them. They separate an ordinary coin from one that tells a story. When combined with strong details and very fine condition, these features make the difference between a collectible and a treasure worth six figures. In conclusion, the 1943 war nickel is not just another war coin. It is a darkened jewel from America's most challenging years, a coin that tells a story of sacrifice, survival, and strength. Its black shade is its signature, its rarity is its power, and its value is a fortune waiting to be unlocked. And that is why here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we faithfully bring you these discoveries, Updated daily, powerful, truthful, and always revealing treasures you can trust. Because these coins are not legends. They are real, they are rare, and they are treasures hiding in plain sight. Stay tuned, because if a $103,000 shocked you, the next coin on this list will prove beyond a doubt that we are only scratching the surface of what rare war nickels are truly worth. The deeper we dig, the richer the treasure becomes. The year is 1944. The world is still engulfed in war. American factories thunder day and night, battles rage overseas, and every resource is counted as precious. But while the focus was on tanks, ships, and weapons, even the smallest things, even the nickels in your pocket, carried the mark of sacrifice. And from this moment in time, the 1944 P war nickel was born. Minted in Philadelphia, this coin is more than just a piece of change. It is a silent witness to history, a fragment of America's struggle and determination during World War II. Its very metal composition sets it apart: 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. A formula unlike any other in American coinage, created because nickel was desperately needed for the war effort. That silver core gave it lasting power, not just in value but in legacy. Now, let's talk about what makes this particular 1944 piece so breathtaking. Unlike bright, shiny coins that lose their character, this one wears the marks of time proudly. A lightly black shade sweeps across its surface, giving it an old, distinguished look. It's not damage, it's beauty. It's the natural patina of age, a story written over decades. Collectors love this look because it proves authenticity, and it makes the coin stand apart from the rest. It whispers of history, of pockets it passed through, of lives it touched, of the very era it represents. Rarity is where the magic intensifies. Yes, millions were minted, but how many have survived in very fine condition like this one? Very few. Most were spent into oblivion, their details erased by years of circulation. Some were melted when silver prices spiked. Others disappeared in the drawers and jars of forgotten estates. But this coin, this survivor, has endured. Very fine condition means the details are still clear, the artistry still visible, the story still intact. That is what collectors hunger for. And now, the part that truly shocks and excites, its value. In today's thriving rare coin market, the 1944 P war nickel, in very fine condition with its lightly black shade, is valued at an absolutely current $102,000. Let that sink in. A coin struck during a world war meant to circulate for mere cents now commands six figures in auctions. That's not fiction. That's not exaggeration. That is the treasure hidden in plain sight. And the market is only heating up. Each year, these coins become harder to find, while the number of collectors grows. This unstoppable equation means one thing: values will continue to rise. For collectors, here's the tip. Never overlook coins with natural patinas. A light black shade like this is a hallmark of authenticity and age, not a flaw. Combine that with strong details and preservation, and you have a treasure that commands attention in the auction world. Always look for originality, because originality is where true value lives. So what is the conclusion? The 1944 P war nickel is not just another war coin. It is a symbol of America's resilience, a relic of sacrifice, and a treasure whose value is undeniable. To hold one is to hold a fragment of history and a piece of wealth wrapped in silver and time. It is living proof that even the smallest coins can carry fortunes. And here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we bring you these discoveries with faith, truth, and fresh updates every single day, because the world of rare coins is alive, growing, and filled with treasures just waiting to be found. So stay with me, because if $102,000 for this lightly black-shaded 1944 P major heart race, the next coin will send it soaring even higher. We are only halfway through this incredible list, and the deeper we go, the more breathtaking the treasures become. The year was 1942. America had just entered the Second World War, and the nation was shifting every resource, every effort, every heartbeat toward one single goal: victory. Industries transformed overnight. Everyday life changed instantly. And even the smallest things, even the nickels in your pocket, were drafted into service. It was in this dramatic moment that a coin was struck that would forever alter the history of U.S. currency, The 1942 P War Nickel. This coin marked the very first year of the wartime composition. For the first time in American history, nickels weren't really nickel at all. Instead, they were forged from 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. The strategic metal nickel had to be saved for armor plating, airplanes, artillery, the machinery of survival. That means every 1942 P is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of sacrifice, a piece of America's resolve cast in silver. Now, why is this particular 1942 P so extraordinary? Let's begin with its look. Over decades of life, this coin has developed a subtle gray shade, a natural patina that collectors adore. It gives the coin an aura of age and authenticity, like a fingerprint of time. While newer coins may shine bright, this one glows with history. Every mark, every shadow of gray tells us this coin has lived, survived, and endured. But rarity is the key to its true power. Because this was the very first year of the wartime alloy, collectors place immense importance on 1942 P nickels. They were struck at a time when the entire nation was adjusting to wartime production. Millions may have been minted, but very few survived the decades in collectible condition. Many were spent until they wore smooth. Others vanished in silver melts. But this coin, in very fine condition, stands out as a survivor, holding its details, its beauty, and its story. Now comes the jaw-dropping moment. In today's blazing auction market, the 1942 P War nickel, in very fine condition with this elegant gray shade, carries an absolutely current value of $113,800. That's right, a coin once worth just 5 cents now commands 6 figures. Over $113,000 for a piece that could fit in your pocket. And this isn't hype, this is truth. Collectors know the significance of the first wartime nickel. They know the rarity. They know the demand. And that demand is only intensifying as the years pass. Here's what makes this even more exciting. The value of this treasure is rising steadily, day by day, year by year. Auction results prove it. The market knows the supply is shrinking. Every time a coin like this enters a collection, it is effectively locked away, off the market for decades. That's why today's price is only the beginning. If you think $113,800 is high, just wait. The future is even brighter. Collector's tip: always pay close attention to the very first and very last years of any historic coinage series. The 1942 P is the beginning of the war nickel story, and beginnings always hold a special power. Combine that with a distinctive patina like this gray shade and preservation in very fine condition, and you have a recipe for explosive value. So what's the conclusion? The 1942 P War nickel is more than money. It is a monument to America's resilience at the dawn of its greatest trial. It is silver and history fused together. And it is a treasure whose market value can make any collector feel like they are holding a fortune. To own one is to own the opening chapter of a legendary series, a chapter written in sacrifice, strength, and silver. And here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we bring you these treasures faithfully, truthfully, and freshly updated every single day. Because these stories are not myths, they are real. These values are not fiction, they are fact. And the treasures are out there, waiting to be discovered. Stay with me, because if the 1942 P with its $113,800 value left you in awe, the next coin on our list will prove that the deeper we go into this series, the more the treasure grows. You won't believe what's still ahead. The year was 1944. The tide of war was turning. American forces were pushing forward overseas, the strength of U.S. industry was unmatched, and every ounce of material, steel, copper, nickel, was being consumed by the machinery of victory. Yet even in that moment, the U.S. Mint was producing coins unlike any others in history, coins that would forever carry the mark of wartime sacrifice. And one of those treasures is the 1944 S War nickel. This coin, struck at the San Francisco Mint, stands out as one of the crown jewels of wartime coinage. It carries the special wartime composition of 35% silver, copper, and manganese, a blend never before used in nickels and never to be used again. The reason was simple. Nickel, the metal, was vital to the war. It was needed for armor plating, weapons, and machinery. And so, in its place, the mint created these remarkable silver-laced nickels, each one a symbol of the times. But this particular 1944S carries something even more extraordinary, a surface transformed by time itself. Its dark black shade gives it an aura of mystery, a shadowy beauty that collectors love. Far from being a flaw, this deep patina makes the coin shine with character. It is history etched in color, a sign that this coin has traveled through decades while retaining its dignity and power. In the coin world, black-toned silver is treasured. It is eye-catching, unique, and proof of authenticity. And when you hold this coin, you don't just hold metal, you hold a story alive in its surface. Now, rarity is where the real treasure shines. Yes, millions of 1944S nickels were produced, but very few have survived the decades in very fine condition. Most were worn out in daily use, tossed aside, melted down, or lost to history. But this coin, preserved with its bold details intact and its rich black shade, is a survivor. A rarity among rarities. And collectors know it. That's why, when one appears in the market, demand surges instantly. And here is the moment that takes your breath away, the value. In today's auction world, this 1944 S-War nickel in very fine condition, with its dramatic dark black patina, commands an absolutely current value of $107,000. Yes, $107,000. A coin that once passed from hand to hand in wartime San Francisco now stands as a treasure worth more than most people ever imagine a nickel could be. This is no myth. This is no exaggeration. This is reality in the red-hot world of rare coins. Collectors know this truth. Values are climbing. Year after year, auction after auction, prices for these treasures only move in one direction, upward. Why? Because supply shrinks while demand explodes. Each time a coin like this is bought and tucked away into a private collection, it effectively disappears from the market. That makes the remaining survivors even more valuable. The $107,000 value we see today is not a peak. It is a step on a ladder that continues to rise. For collectors, here's the golden tip. Never ignore coins with strong eye appeal. That dark black shade isn't just beautiful, it is a mark that makes this coin stand out in any auction. Eye appeal drives competition, and competition drives price. Combine that with preservation in very fine condition, and you have a treasure that commands respect and dollars alike. So, what's the conclusion? The 1944 S-War nickel is more than money. It is a jewel forged in a time of war, a black-toned beauty that proves history can shine even in its darkest shades. It is a piece of America's story, a story of sacrifice, strength, and survival, and a treasure worth six figures in today's world. And that is why here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we faithfully bring you these stories, powerful, truthful, and freshly updated every single day. Because these coins are not just relics of the past. They are living treasures, carrying wealth, history, and excitement for anyone who dares to discover them. Stay tuned, because if $107,000 for this black-shaded 1944S left you stunned, the next coin on our list will raise the stakes even higher. The treasure hunt is far from over, and the best is still to come. The year was 1942. America had just entered World War II, and the nation was racing to mobilize its strength. Every factory roared to life, every family tightened its belt, and even the very coins in circulation were transformed to meet the needs of war. It was that year, for the first time in U.S. history, that nickels would no longer contain nickel. In its place, a new formula was created: silver, copper, and manganese. And from this experiment came a treasure unlike any other, the 1942p War nickel. This coin marked the dawn of a new era. Minted in Philadelphia, it carried the first ever P mint mark on a U.S. coin, making it historic from the start. It was struck not for luxury or beauty, but out of necessity, to save the strategic metal nickel for tanks, weapons, and armor plating. But what was born of sacrifice has become, over time, one of the most sought-after treasures in American coinage. Now, this particular 1942p holds something extraordinary, a golden shade that sets it apart from the rest. Over the decades, silver reacts to time and environment, and in rare cases, it develops a glowing golden patina. This is not damage. It is beauty, pure and natural, like sunlight frozen on metal. Collectors crave coins with unique toning, and a golden hue is one of the most desirable. It gives the coin personality, character, and above all, unmatched eye appeal. But rarity is where the story turns into treasure. While many 1942 P nickels were struck, how many have survived in fine condition with such a remarkable golden patina? The truth, very few. Most were spent until they were worn smooth, others were lost, and many were melted when silver prices rose. But this survivor, with its glowing surface and clear details, is a rarity in today's market, and collectors know it. And now comes the part that makes hearts race: its value. In today's auction market, the 1942 P War nickel, in fine condition with its golden shade, commands an absolutely current value of $105,500. Yes, over $105,000 for a coin that once bought a loaf of bread. This is the power of history, rarity, and demand colliding. And make no mistake, this is not a dream. This is reality, unfolding right now in the world of rare coins. Collectors understand the truth. Treasures like this only get more valuable with time. Each year, fewer survive, while more collectors join the hunt. Every auction sets new records, and every sale pushes the bar higher. The $105,500 value today is not the ceiling. It is the foundation of a price that will continue to rise. Owning this coin is like holding not just history, but future wealth in your hands. For collectors, here's the tip. Always watch for unusual patinas. A golden shade like this is highly prized because it stands out instantly in any showcase or auction. Eye appeal is everything in numismatics. When you pair that with historical significance, like the first wartime nickels ever struck, you have a coin that is nothing short of irresistible. In conclusion, the 1942 P War nickel in golden shade is not just a coin. It is the beginning of a legendary series, a treasure born from sacrifice, and a work of art painted by time. To hold it is to hold a fortune, a piece of history, and a relic that proves the smallest things can carry the greatest value. And that is exactly why here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we share these stories faithfully, powerfully, and with fresh updates every single day. Because these coins are not fiction, they are living treasures waiting to be found. So don't look away, because if $105,500 for this golden shaded 1942 P left you stunned, the next coin will take your breath away. We are closing in on the end of this incredible list, and the treasures are only getting more extraordinary. 45. The world was breathing its first sigh of relief. Victory was near, the war was ending, and a new era of peace was about to begin. But before the dust settled, the U.S. Mint struck one of the most unforgettable treasures in American history, the 1945 P War nickel. This coin, born at the Philadelphia Mint, is more than just a piece of currency. It represents the final year of the legendary War Nickel series. These coins were struck not from the usual nickel metal, but from 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese, a unique wartime alloy designed to preserve nickel for the machinery of battle. When you hold a 1945P, you're holding the very last breath of wartime coinage, the end of a chapter written in silver and sacrifice. Now, what makes this particular 1945 piece so captivating is its golden shade. Over decades, its silver content has aged into a warm, glowing patina that collectors dream of. This isn't something the Mint designed. It is nature's gift, time's artwork etched across the surface of a historic coin. A golden patina like this transforms the 1945 P from simply rare to absolutely breathtaking. It shines with character, with beauty. The survivors, especially ones with such a radiant look, are treasures collectors fight fiercely to acquire. This coin isn't just rare, it's a jewel pulled from the ashes of history. And now comes the moment that sends chills down your spine, its value. In today's fast-rising auction market, the 1945 P War nickel in fine condition, glowing with golden shade, carries an absolutely current value of $100,800. That's right. A coin once worth just 5 cents now commands over $100,000. This is no legend, no exaggeration. This is the reality of numismatics, where everyday pocket change has transformed into priceless treasure. And here is the truth every collector knows. The value of this coin will not stop here. With every year, demand grows. With every auction, prices climb higher. The $100 value today is not the final word. It is the beginning of a climb that will continue for decades. To hold this coin is to hold a treasure chest in miniature, a piece of wealth and history fused into one. For collectors, here's the tip. Pay attention to final year issues. The 1945p is the last of the war nickels, and final year coins always carry special weight in the market. Add a golden shade patina and preservation in fine condition, and you have a coin that stands at the crossroads of history and fortune. So what's the conclusion? The 1945p war nickel is more than a coin. It is the closing chapter of a wartime saga, a golden-hued relic of victory, and a treasure commanding six figures in today's auctions. To own it is to own history's finale, a piece of America's triumph, and a fortune that will only grow richer with time. And that is why here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we bring you these treasures faithfully, with trust and fresh updates every single day. Because these coins are not myths. They are real, they are rare, and they are treasures that could be hiding in plain sight. Stay with me because the final coin on our list will be the one that ties it all together. If you thought $800 was jaw-dropping, the number 10 coin will leave you absolutely speechless. The year was 1943. The war was at its fiercest. Across the globe, battles raged, and at home, every American felt the weight of sacrifice. The U.S. Mint was no exception. Nickel, a critical metal for armor plating and weapons, was too valuable for coins. And so, for a few short years, the War Nickel series was born, struck in a unique blend of silver, copper, and manganese. Among these treasures, one coin stands tall as a symbol of beauty, rarity, and value. The 1943 War Nickel. Struck at the San Francisco Mint, this coin is special not only for its wartime silver content, but for the stunning way time has touched it. This particular survivor glows with a yellow shade, a warm patina born from decades of natural aging. Add to that its delicate spotting, and you have a coin that tells a story all its own. These markings are not flaws. They are history's fingerprints, proof that this treasure has lived through generations while keeping its beauty intact. Collectors love coins with unique personalities, and this 1943 has it in abundance. But rarity is where its true power shines. Yes, millions were minted, but how many survived in fine condition with such a captivating yellow shade and spotted toning? Almost none. Most of the coins from 1943 were worn smooth by everyday use, while others were melted down when silver became valuable again. That makes this coin a survivor in the truest sense, a relic rescued from time, preserved against the odds, and now standing as one of the most desirable war nickels in existence. And now comes the revelation you've been waiting for. In today's booming auction market, the 1943 War Nickel, in fine condition with its glowing yellow shade and spotted surface, commands an absolutely current value of $101,300. That's right, $101,300 for a nickel that once passed from hand to hand during the darkest days of war. This is not exaggeration. This is not a story. This is reality. A treasure hidden in plain sight, worth more than a fortune. Collectors know this truth. Coins like the 1943 only climb higher in value with time. With each passing year, supply grows smaller, while demand grows stronger. The six-figure value we see today is not the end. It is only the beginning of its rise. Owning this coin is like holding a living treasure chest, a piece of wealth and history combined into one shining relic. For collectors, here's the tip. Never underestimate the power of eye appeal. The yellow shade and spotting on this coin are what set it apart. They make it stand out instantly in any auction, and that is what drives collectors into bidding wars. Pair that with the historical significance of a 1943 wartime strike, and you have a coin that guarantees attention and commands a fortune. So what's the conclusion? The 1943 War Nickel is not just money. It is a masterpiece of survival, a relic of sacrifice, and a six-figure treasure that proves history's smallest coins can carry the largest fortunes. Outro hook. And with that, we've reached the end of today's journey through the top 10 most valuable and ultra-rare war nickels in circulation. Each one is a treasure, each one a story, and each one proof that what jingles in your pocket could be worth more than you ever imagined. But here's the real secret. This is only the beginning. The rare coin market is alive, growing, and changing every single day. And here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we bring you faithful, fresh, and powerful updates so you never miss a chance to discover your own hidden fortune. So if you felt the excitement, if these treasures made your heart race, then do one thing right now. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and join our community of treasure hunters. Because the next coin we reveal could be the very one that changes your life. Remember, history is alive in these coins, and the next fortune could be sitting right in your hands. Stay tuned, stay curious, and always keep your eyes open, because the next rare coin secret is closer than you think.